Hello everybody, we are going to be continuing on with our Champions Cup series as we go through each NHL season, kind of what went down and unraveling it. Now before we start, I wanted to say please make sure to subscribe to my channel if you're new to me, new to hockey, whatever the case may be. I'd love to have you here along the way as I try to do this as a career. Now let's get into it. We're going to be talking about the 1920-21 NHL season. Now coming into the season, the league had 4 teams to start off their 4th season, and it stayed at 4 teams by the end of the season, which is good considering at this point we had seen the team or the league have some teams not make it, and there was a new team though for this season, that being the Hamilton Tigers, which emerged after the Quebec Athletics moved to Hamilton because the league was concerned about Eddie Livingstone creating a rival league and putting a team in Hamilton. They wanted to squash that out like a bug, and they did so by moving Hamilton there after they were not very successful in Quebec. So we saw that, and the season also featured every team playing 24 games, and the campaign split into 2 parts. And it wasn't exactly perfect. The first half was 10 games, the second half was 14. The winner of each half was going to play each other for the NHL championship. Now, this was going to be the last season this happened, as changes were coming in the following season. However, we got to see a really fun year for the league, and we saw Newsy Lalonde, I cannot say his name, in the league's top scorer, or be the league's top scorer, as he had 33 goals and 10 assists for 43 points in 24 games played for the Montreal Canadiens. It was the second time that he was able to be the league's top scorer in 4 years. It was him and Malone that kind of did that, where they alternated each time for a season through those first 4 years. Now, Ottawa would go on to win the first half of this season with a record of 8-2. The Hamilton Tigers, which were of course having troubles in Quebec, struggled in Hamilton as well. They were the worst out of the bunch, going 3-7. Toronto would win the second part of the season. That was the 14 game played stretch, and they went 10-4 in that time, where Hamilton sputtered to a 3-11 record there too. So again, hoping for maybe a little bit more success in year 2 or in a new place with Hamilton, but it didn't happen as they were the league's worst team. But we got to see Ottawa and Toronto square off in a total goals series, which basically meant whoever had more goals at the end of this series was going to be the winner and go on to play for the Stanley Cup. Ottawa practically buried Toronto in the first game of this series with a 5-0 win over the St. Patrick's, kind of making it to where Toronto would have to really put it on in the second game if they wanted to go to the Stanley Cup. But for Ottawa, they were able to go on and win this game 2-0. This was really a good thing for them as they would try to defend their Stanley Cup. And that was good because they also won the NHL championship yet again. So, they won the total goal series 7-0, and we got to see a St. Patrick's player be part of history for this season. It was Sprague Cleghorn, I don't know how to say his first name, but he was dealt to the Senators right after Toronto's lost Ottawa, and NHL Commissioner Frank Calder did not like that at all. So he basically was the guy that made what we know today as the trade deadline. So when we make all these videos where we're excited talking about these guys, where they might go, what the deadline could be, we can thank him, because he, for whatever reason, hated the fact that all went down right after they lost. So Ottawa, of course, having to play for the Stanley Cup, would go on to play the Vancouver Millionaires, who were champions of the Pacific Coast Hockey Association, and they would play them in a best-of-5 series for the Cup. And the series was close in terms of the final score, and here's how this series kind of went. Game 1, Vancouver won 3-1, so they took a 1-0 series lead. Game 2, Ottawa won 4-3, series tied up 1-1. Game 3, Ottawa won 3-2, and they of course took a 2-1 series lead before in Game 4. Vancouver won 3-2 to force that pivotal Game 5 winner takes all. And what happened? Another 1-goal game, 2-1. Ottawa comes away and wins this series. This would be the second straight season that the Senators would win the Stanley Cup, and it was well earned as they defended the NHL and its honor again. But do they go on for a three-peat the following season? Well, hopefully you stick around for the video as well as my other videos. So please make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. Everybody stay safe. Have a great night. You go love hockey, all right? Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes. This is your captain signing off. Have a great night.